And today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers mainline Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime. I remember when this was released and I thought it was strange as they were going to be doing a Studio Series version. And I don't know the Studio Series version. Wouldn't know this one except for our buddy Daryl who gave it to me on loan. And you know what? I gotta say, after previously looking at the mainline Rhinox and being pleasantly surprised with how good that actually was, I kind of had high hopes for this guy. Did he live up to them? Let's find out in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one hail, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton, lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. So, I haven't looked at the Primal, but I did look at the Rhinox, and I was like, you know what? Even though it's just the main line, it was a little bit cheaper than other Voyagers. Granted, it didn't have as much paint and stuff, but man, the engineering and design for that was just fun. When Daryl said I could take a look at this, I was like, I am intrigued to see how good he really is. So without any further ado, how about we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. Once again, courtesy of our buddy Daryl, we're taking a look at now the mainline Rise of the Beast Voyager Optimus Prime. Big shout out, by the way, to Daryl. You've probably noticed lately that a lot of what I've been reviewing has come from him. There was a whole bag chunk of things that he said, hey man, you've never taken a look at these things, take a look at them. So big thanks to him for that. Okay, the packaging here had beautiful packaging for Rise of the Beasts, whether you liked the movie or not. How can you argue with Optimus on the front and all the detailing in behind? It very much stands out. Over here, the art just wraps around the side with an Autobot logo up here and the general Transformers logo down here. Over here, of course, you can kind of see that symbol that we saw a lot of the times. It says Voyager, and on the back, of course, we see both modes and him holding his ion blaster, looking pretty cool. We have this double-sided sheet of instructions. They're pretty clear, actually. Here we can see Optimus next to the Studio Series Battle Trap. He's a bit smaller than that. And Leader Class, I think it's Leader Class, Scourge, and he's a bit smaller than him. Actually, Scourge is slightly off screen even. So he's not the biggest in terms of a Voyager, but mainline was what it was, right? I've looked at the Rhinox, courtesy of Maximal 10, and I thought that the Rhinox was really cool. So I'm really happy to take a look at this guy. In terms of looks for the guy, because we might as well start there. The feet should be, I think, black and blue as they are, or gray and blue, I guess, as they are. Although I don't think it should be all the way up on the toes. I think it should be back a little bit further on the foot. The lower leg being blue with the gray is correct. The detailing on the knee is not quite correct. There's two red dots there, but I think it's supposed to be a red and a white. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's a red and a white. The thighs being gray is fine. The pelvis, the hips, the torso, all of that being gray is fine. I wish it was a darker gray. This light gray just seems, I don't want to say off, but I feel like a gunmetal gray would have really helped this guy. Something like the sort of gray used in Studio Series 38. Haven't looked at that mold, but I've seen it and I love the gray on it. Going up the hands and arms, the gray hands, the red on the arms, the gray biceps, the line here, I guess, and the red, the Autobot logo, all accurate. The chest slightly open, accurate, though in between the openings should not be gray, should be red. The silver just above the windshield, I guess, correct. A little bit of red, correct. The head, pretty much correct. There's a sea of gray here, and like when you look at the back of the dude, like, yeesh, there is a, this doesn't like stay up on his. Maybe I've done something wrong. There's a sea of gray there. I don't like that. But, you know, if the gray was slightly darker, it would be pretty spot on to like most of the references that I've looked up to, other than the knee, instead of having two red lights on it, should have a red and a white. I'm gonna say 9.75, honestly. In terms of the blaster, that's cool, and it can go in his hand, no problem, but you can also put it here on the back for storage if you're so inclined. Very slender Optimus. I struggle with calling this a full-on deluxe, though, I'm not gonna lie. So what's next? Articulation, I guess, would be next. So we're saying 9.75 for the look. I'm surprised I'm saying it. I'm gonna say 9.5 because I don't think the feet are quite right. I'm gonna say 9.5 for the look. The articulation, we have a head that goes left and right. I cannot seem to discern it up and down. I think it's on a mushroom peg. But I can't confirm that. Arm goes all the way around. The shoulders, they can go all the way out, quite far. When you do bring them down, the shoulder piece, I guess, likes to move with the shoulder, so I guess that can wiggle to your, you know, to your heart's content. The elbows over 90 degrees, bicep swivel, wrist rotation. We have a waist on the guy. Not a lot of a waist, but a bit of a waist. I do find that you get more of a waist if you put this piece down. That said, and it's worth noting, I just popped that off. I just popped both of these off. I was trying to show that this can actually turn like this. This is for transformation, but if you don't get what you want at the waist, you can get what you want up here. Don't like that they popped out. I obviously pushed them too far. Oh. So let's put these back on. I'm assuming this will go on easy. Maybe they don't go on easy. Give me a second because I got to try and get them. There you go. I got that one back in place. Bear with me here, guys. I don't know why I can't get this one in. Give me a second to get this one in. My bad. I popped those chest pieces off. But the point I was making, and I'll put these out to the side, was that you can rotate the upper body to get what you would want out of a waist rotation, really. The legs can go all the way forward. They can go back about that far, but I think that's about as far as you're going to need them to go, honestly. We can do splits all the way out to the side because the hip skirts move, which is nice. We have a knee to just over 90 degrees, a thigh swivel built in the thigh. By the way, I like that there's like no hollowness on this guy, which is really good. Yeah, there's not really much hollowness on him at all, actually. The feet can go forward, back, and kind of tilt in here on the side as well. So everything you could sort of want. I know that I messed up here with the chest a little bit, but everything you could sort of want, honestly. Stand this guy. Let me stand this guy up, get him in a good solid pose. There we go. Man, I said a 9.5 for the look. I think I'm going to say a 9.5. No, I'm going to give the articulation a 10. Like, it's all... No, wait, 9.5 because of the head. So 9.5 for the look, 9.5 for the articulation. There you go, 9.5 for each. Pretty great score for the mainline one. Not even the Studio Series one. 9.5, 9.5. Let's do the transformation, and yeah, hopefully that goes smoothly too. Where will we begin? I think we'll begin with this red panel here on the back that comes up over and should push the whole head down, and it also lets the chest close. By the way, when you fold this back, the chest will like really kind of automorph open by itself. If you bring it back enough to bring the head up. Oh, it didn't do it then. Usually the head kind of forces the chest open. Interesting that it didn't do it then. I digress. Now I'm just wasting time. Bring the head down, bring that up over. Boom. Okay, cool. Next, I'm just gonna fold these up for now. I'm just going to fold those up for now. Let's come down here maybe to the legs, I think. The feet, they come up over the front, and I think we can even put the legs together if I'm not mistaken. Make sure that we got that all up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I should actually explain this, and I didn't. I just started doing it. I think this is actually genius. That's why I'm explaining this. So, the entirety of the shin, I guess, pushes through as you bring the foot up. And comes all the way down around the back so that the foot kind of fills in where the shin was. Then we can put these legs together, and we can even put over a trailer hitch. I think that's very, very neat. I really like the way that they do the lower body. We're going to pick these up out of the way because I think we're to the point now where we need to rotate the chest and arms around. Yes, that seems pretty good. We're going to untab from right there and bring the whole, not just the legs, but the whole hip section also needs to come up. We're going to bring this down, and it should be able, it should be able to kind of start going down here now. Okay, good. We're not all the way there yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. So we have all of that open. I guess next, arms, I guess we'll say the shoulders next. And we rotate in a shoulder, and we rotate in a shoulder? Is that right? Oh, no, it's not. I digress. Or I made a mistake. I can't say I digress because I'm not off topic. Before I pull the shoulders in, this opens out and comes to the outside of the arm. This opens up and comes to the outside of the arm. Now the shoulders go back. There we go. There we go. That's more like it. Yeah. Still not perfect, but it's getting there. Tab that tab in. Tab that tab in. Great. Where will we go next? I guess we will bring in the hands and stuff next, I guess. So basically we got to bring in the hand, and the whole thing kind of comes up behind the body section. You can even begin to open that out if you want. There. So open that out, bring the hand in, and again behind this whole body section, like the hand goes in here. So we will turn it. Might even be easier if I leave the legs down, honestly. Yeah, it is easier if I leave the legs down. Look at that. Then we fold all of this up. And now we should be able to fold that forward. There we go. These go out on the side. This whole grill section has to come down. These go on the side and tab in. Kind of on the side of the hips. And I suppose if you really want, you could take your blaster and put it in there, but boom, in the end, here we have Optimus in his truck mode. A couple of things I fiddled over were these shoulder pieces. I always forget to take them out and move them around before I put the shoulders in, but it's easy. The hands, you got to remember, they don't go all the way up front. They go in behind, basically, the tummy section, the rib section. And when you're folding on this front piece, make sure that you fold it down from the hinge in the grill so that you can tab these in on the side. And of course, when you're folding up the feet, make sure that you're pushing the shins all the way through. Rolls like a champion. If you're curious, as I was curious about a trailer for the lad, doesn't quite work. Here's a version of the Earthrise trailer. Like, it It kind of works, but like the angle is off here. He can pull it, but the angle is off. Would the 86 work with this? I don't know. I don't have an 86 trailer handy here, but even if it did, I feel like the 86 would be too big. The transformation, despite my little bit of fiddling in a couple of spots because I forgot steps, is brilliant. And once you've done it maybe twice, you know how it's going. And I'm going to give it a 10. The guy had a 9, a 9, and a 10. This is an excellent, for a mainline, for something that's not Studio Series, for something that was just mainline, this is excellent. It's a fantastic Prime because it's a fun Prime. The Sea of Gray, bit of a bummer. All of this open space back here, even though we do have a hook, little bit of a bummer. I wish there was something on the bottom of the feet to fill that in. But for what it is, and these were a bit cheaper than the Studio Series stuff, like even as a Voyager, these were fairly cheap here. I think that the overall score with a 9, a 9, and a 10 is easily like a 9.5 for this, maybe a 9.25. But yeah, it's an excellent, fun, enjoyable Optimus, courtesy of Rise of the Beasts. And here we are once again, and here he is. So, first things first, I really think, and this was in the movie, so I can't really count it as a gripe, but I think the design in the movie and in plastic, these sections above his windshield should have been red, as far as I'm concerned. I think all around the windshield should have been red. That's just a personal gripe. That has nothing to do with the quality of this or accuracy or anything else. Let's talk about the coloration first. Granted, the reds are here, the blues are here for the most part, but man, oh man, is there a sea of gray. Like, come on. All of this torso, all of the pelvis in the front of the legs, all of the back of the guy. You couldn't have like picked out some of the detail with some other color. I feel like there's a lost opportunity there. That said, while I think that's a lost opportunity, let's talk about the articulation for a second. It is second to none. Like, we have an upper torso rotation. We also have a waist. The arms can do everything you would want them to do. The wrists even have a rotation on them. The lower legs, there's like no hollowness. It's all filled in. And they, again, do everything you could really want them to do with a good range of motion. Like, even the knee is a little over 90 degrees. You know, you can really bring that leg up on the front. Nothing hinders it. Even the way the hip skirts on the side go out. So, yeah, okay, the look is kind of bland and he needed more paint. But the articulation is amazing. Then we get to the transformation. It's familiar as an Optimus Prime, but especially the way the arms work is really, really cool. Though I do find that I forget how this piece moves quite a bit. The only point of contention I have for articulation or transformation really is working around these shoulder pads. I wish there was a way that they locked in a bit better or something. That said, I do think the lower body, for as simple as it is brilliant. I love the movement of the entire shin in as the foot comes up over to form part of the truck. It's such a simple thing, but when you're pulling the foot down and you see that shin come out, oh man, is it something real rewarding about it. So I think he absolutely wins as taking the familiar Optimus design and embellishing it a little bit to make it interesting. I think he absolutely wins in terms of articulation. His only real weakness is really the fact that he is lacking paint severely. If you can get it past that, he's a pretty nifty Optimus Prime. Let me know what you think of Rise of the Beast mainline Optimus Prime. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you are at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here, inside the videos.